Good morning, students, and welcome to the first episode of our weekly digital news and morning announcements. Now, normally we have the morning announcements over the intercom, but every Wednesday we're going to try and do announcements on a video like this. And we actually need your help, students. Here in a couple weeks, we're going to be sending home a permission slip to students who might be interested in helping to create our digital news. Now, there's lots of people that go into creating digital news, and this will be open to 4th and 5th graders. And one of the things, of course, you need to do is be a news anchor. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm talking. That's the news anchor. But we also need people who you don't see. We need people who are holding the camera and who are writing down what the person talking should say. And then we need people who are called editors. And those are people who take all the videos that we record and they squish them together and they take out all the mistakes. In fact, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a couple mistakes I made. I call them bloopers. And so editors cut those out so that we don't have to watch all the mistakes. We're going to call these morning announcements our Jackbox News. I don't know if you've ever played Jackbox games, but I thought that would be a fun little name for us to call these morning announcements when they're on the video, is Jackbox News. Okay, so I always like to start with birthdays, and in fact, we had some birthdays in August. It's the month of August right now, and these students celebrated their birthday before school started, but I still want to recognize them and wish them a happy birthday. So on August 2nd, Vandal in Lawrence's class had a birthday. On August 4th, Xavier in Badger's class had a birthday. August 5th, Sophia in Garcia's and Angel in Marzo's class had a birthday. On August 7th, Elise, and I'm sorry if I say that wrong, in Paige's class had a birthday, and so did Lithia in Mrs. Cox's class. August 9th, Alina in Christensen's class, April in Paige's, and Kylie in Cox's class had a birthday. On August 11th, Alafosio, I'm sorry if I said that one wrong, in Christensen's class had a birthday. On the 12th, Richard in Cox's class had a birthday. On the 14th, Ava in Miss Perry's class. And those are the birthdays that we didn't announce before school started. And then there's no birthdays today, which is the 18th. So we don't have to announce any birthdays for today. All right, so the second thing we're going to do on these announcements is we're going to have one class assigned each week to sing our school song. Since this is the first week, we don't have any class assigned. Okay, of course, since these are morning announcements, we want to go ahead and make some announcements as well. And the most important announcement you need to be aware of is that the school carnival is tonight. If you brought back your RSVP, you will get a wristband at the end of the day. Your teacher will put the wristband on you, and then you can come back to the school at 5:30 and go on the rides. If you didn't get a wristband, you can still get one at the carnival. I will be sitting at a table. Come find me at the table, and I will give you your wristband. Okay, the reason I am not giving them to everybody is I want to make sure you're coming. Okay, so that's why I need the RSVP. That's a note from your parents telling me that for sure you're coming. Because if I give you a wristband and then you don't come, then that costs the school $10. And so I'm only giving wristbands to the people I know for sure are coming. So if you don't know for sure, or your parents haven't given me or your teacher that letter, but you still decide last minute that you want to come, still come. It's still free. You just have to get your wristband at the carnival and not before. So don't worry, don't be sad if you don't get a wristband. You can still come to the carnival. Bring your mom and dad over to where I'm sitting. I'll give you a wristband, okay? There'll also be another table out there where some teachers will be sitting. And if you take your mom or dad to that table, I'll give you 4 tickets to do some of the games. So the carnival is going to have rides and games. Now the games cost $1 for 4 tickets. And I'm not giving those to anybody unless they come talk to a teacher at the carnival. And what we're going to do is we're going to give your mom or dad a piece of paper that shows 3 of the most important things you need to learn this year. And we're going to ask your mom and dad to help you learn those 3 things. It's called the Big 3. If you come over to that table during the carnival with your mom or dad and we tell you about the Big 3 and give you that paper, we'll also give you 4 tickets to play some of the games. We're also going to have food there, hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, drinks, and a cookie. That's free as well, so enjoy the carnival. Make sure you be safe on all of the rides at the carnival. We hope you have a really good time tonight. Okay, those are really the only announcements we have for today. So the very last thing is we want to tell you about the school rules all around the school. Now, you probably already know what the rules all are in your classroom because your teacher's been talking about it. I told you some of the rules in the library, but guess what? In the hall, there's different rules. On the playground, there's different rules. In the gym, there's different rules, okay? In the bathroom, there's different rules. You might know a lot of these rules, but we want to make sure you really know them really well. So watch this next little part of Jackbox News, and I'm going to teach you some of the school rules. So pay attention, because you are going to be held accountable for these rules. That means it's your job to follow them. If you don't follow these rules, you could find yourself getting in trouble, and we don't want that to happen. So take a look. All right, students, I am in the hallway, and I need to tell you about some of the rules in the hallway. We always walk in a straight line. We actually have some arrows on the floor on the second tile. We call it single file second tile. When you're walking with your class, you need to be single file. Single file means there's a person in front of you and behind you. There's no one to your side. And you should be looking at the back of their head and always looking forward. In the hallways, it's a voice level 0. There is never any reason to talk in the hallways, especially when you're in line for lunch and coming back in from recess. There are classes that are in session during that time. So we expect you to be silent so that you can show respect towards their learning. Just like if you were in your class, you wouldn't want a lot of noise in the hallway to be distracting you, so should you be silent in the hallway to respect others who are learning at the time. Make sure you have a hall pass if you are by yourself, and that you go straight where you're going. No wandering around the school or going to places you shouldn't be going. All right, those are the expectations for the hallway. All right, as you can see, I'm in the lunchroom now, and we have already gone over the lunchroom rules, but just a reminder really quickly, the most important is to never touch anyone else's food. The second is to make sure you clean up after yourselves, or if Mr. Bodden or another adult asks you to clean up, that you do it without complaining. We're all trying to take care of our school and keep it clean. So even if you didn't make the mess, you can help us clean it up. You need to stay in your seat until we pull the card for you to leave. If you are still eating when it's time to leave, remember we do have a finishing table. You need to take your food over there and finish eating. And I'm going to show you something in just a minute about where I want you to exit the lunchroom to go to recess. All right, let's go take a look at that right now. As you can see, I'm standing by the door that you exit when it's time to go to recess after the lunchroom. As soon as you exit the door, you're going to turn left. Okay, every single person will go left. And we want you to walk down this hallway and go out those doors, even if you're in the upper grades. That means when you go out these doors, 4th and 5th graders, you have to walk around the back of the building to get to your playground. Now, why are we doing that and not having you walk down the entire hallway? Well, the reason is this hallway behind me here, there's a lot more classes down there that you pass by, and the potential to disrupt them is much greater. So we don't want you to walk all the way down, even though those doors are closer to your playground. You're inside and you're walking by lots of classes that are in session. So instead, we want every single person when they come out of this door to go left and out to the playground. Now let's head outside to the playground and learn some of those rules. All right, as you can see, I'm outside on the playground. Now, the most important rule on the playground is to play safe. That includes our equipment. So things like slides are meant to slide down, not climb up. Okay, monkey bars are meant for your hands, not your feet. Those are just some ways to play safe. There's so many, I can't list them all. So if an adult asks you to play safe, they're going to describe how to do that, and there's no arguing with them. They know what's safe. Sometimes you don't. So we need to listen to adults. One thing that's not safe is playing tackling games. We never tackle, push, always keep our hands to ourselves. We call it kaifudi. It stands for keep your hands, feet, and other objects to yourselves. That includes any equipment. So if you have a basketball, you don't throw it at someone. Okay, that's not keeping other objects to yourself. The only time you can touch someone is on the shoulder, right here, and it needs to be one-handed, very lightly, and that's if you're playing tag. We don't tag people anywhere else. We don't tag people below the waist. We don't tag them in the front. We don't tag them in the head. And we definitely don't tag them with two hands. It's one hand, and it's on the shoulder blade. It's the only time you should be touching people out on the playground. Now, the most important thing about the playground is we're going to make mistakes, and it's totally okay to make mistakes. If an adult comes comes up to you and asks you to, and reminds you of the rules and asks you to follow the rules, what I never ever want to hear you say is, they were doing it too. That's true. Someone else may have been breaking the rule, but we're not talking to them. We'll talk to them later. We're talking to you. If you're breaking the rule, you can say, I'm sorry, I'll try better. And that's okay. No one will be mad at you if you say you're sorry and you're going to try better. We don't argue. We definitely don't blame other people. Okay, we're going to practice accountability this year. That means accountability is meaning we take responsibility for our own actions. So whatever we do, we need to admit to what we did, and we need to practice getting better. We all can get better. Mr. Bob makes mistakes every single day. I practice getting better every day. I don't blame other people for what I do. I take accountability for my choices. You need to take accountability for yours. Okay? There's also no such thing as self-defense. Okay? If someone hits you for some reason and you hit them back, that's not self-defense. Okay? If you tell me you were defending yourself, you're both going to be in trouble for fighting. We simply don't fight at the school. There's no slapping, kicking, punching of any kind, and self-defense doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the school because there are adults around to help you. If someone tries to hurt you or does hurt you, you run away and you go get an adult. You do not fight back. If you fight back, you will be in just as much trouble as the person who started the fight. Okay, we do not fight at school out on the playground. Simple, plain, easy. There's no arguing about it, okay, and there's no changing my mind about this. This is how we keep each other safe. We keep our hands to ourselves, we don't fight, we follow the rules, and we take accountability. All right, have fun out on the playground, stay safe, be accountable. All right, this is the bathroom, of course. We all know what the bathroom is for, and really that's the only purpose of the bathroom. It's not a place to play, and it's not a place to talk. So you should be able to go into the bathroom and leave pretty quickly, because all you need to do is go in and take care of your business, wash your hands, that's a very important step, and then leave. Those are the three things you do in the bathroom. Business, wash hands, leave. There's no talking, there's no messing around, and we need to respect privacy. Okay, this is a private thing. We all do it, but we like to do it in a private way, and it's only our business, it's no one else's business. So there's no peeking under stalls or climbing on the stalls or doing anything like that. Please show respect to yourself, your body, and other people as well, and use the bathroom for its purpose, and make sure to wash those hands. Okay, so important. We don't want to be spreading germs after you use the bathroom. Wash those hands really well with soap and water and scrub them really, really hard. All right, thank you for using the bathroom the way it was intended and for taking care of yourself and your body. All right, I'm in the library now. This is my favorite place in the whole school. It's one of the most beautiful places in the school, and it's full of amazing books. The thing you and teachers need to know this year is that you can check out any books you want. There's no requirements as far as like the level of book. Okay, so if we prefer you pick out something that's on your reading level, but if you find something that's really, really interesting and you want to check it out, go for it. If it's too hard, bring it back. No problem. Check out whatever you want. Okay, the only exception is drawing books. So we would ask teachers to help with this. We don't want you to check out 2 drawing books. You can check out 1, but the other book needs to be anything else. And it can be a graphic novel, that's fine, that's reading. It can be a magazine, that's fine. It can be a chapter book. It can be a picture book. These are all reading books. They're going to help you improve your reading. Please walk into the library quietly. This is a very quiet space. It's a respectful place where people can think. So that's the second rule. And then the third rule is just use shelf markers. You know, our librarian spends a lot of her time putting books back on the shelves so you can find them. And if you're taking off lots of books and you forgot where you took them off from, then she has to find where they go and put them back. So the shelf marker helps you to remember where you took the book from. So after you're done looking at it, if you decide, okay, I don't want to check this out after all, then you can put it back in its proper place. So those are the 3 rules. Check out whatever you want, just no 2 picture books. Walk in quietly, stay quiet, and use shelf markers. Enjoy the library. All right, students, you're seeing a bunch of dots on a table. I'm in the art room. These are actually whiteboards, colored whiteboards on each table. And what Miss Stott wants you to know is that when you come into art, you need to come in quietly, sit at a table, and you can draw on these whiteboards every single day until you start your project. And behind me here is the second most important thing I want you to know. And right behind me is the door to the wet area. That's a place where you can clean up, like if you're painting or using different kinds of art supplies that might make a mess. Only one person is allowed in there at a time. So if Miss Stott finds you 2 people in there, you're both in trouble. As simple as that. One person in there at a time. Please try to use the bathroom before you come to art. You have such a short time here, and we're making really cool art and making these big projects that take a lot of time. And if you go to the bathroom, you might miss out. So do try to use the bathroom before you come. So remember those 3 rules. Come in quietly, start drawing, one person at a time in the wet room, and try to use the bathroom before you come, and you'll have a great experience with art. Thanks. All right, you can see I am in the gym, and this is where you come for PE. Now there's 4 rules in PE, but I'm only going to talk about 2 of them. Okay, Mrs. Aaron will go over the other rules with you, but the most important rule is to be safe. You're going to be using all kinds of different things. For example, today they're using noodles, all right, and she's going to tell you how to use them safely. I can tell you right now, I didn't even listen to her explain the rules, but I already know that whacking someone with a noodle is probably not safe. And you know what? You do too. So use your brain, because you know what's safe and what's not safe. So be safe. That's the number 1 most important rule. Number 2, participate. We're all here to have fun, okay? And be a good sport. Being a good sport means you cheer each other on, you don't put people down, or you don't say they're bad at sports. You know, some people are better than others at sports. So we cheer and encourage each other, and even if we have 2 different teams, we don't put the other team down. We put our team up. Okay, we don't even need to talk to the other team. We put our team up. We never put other teams down, or even other people down, especially other people down. Those are the 2 most important rules here in PE. Be safe, be a good sport, and participate. You do those 2 things, you're going to have a great time in PE this year. Have fun. All right, I am standing outside of Mr. Ballast's room, and if you don't know who he is, he's our school technology specialist. He's the one that helps you with your Chromebooks. And the reason I'm here is we have a lot of different rules about technology, and you actually have to sign a form with your parents at the beginning of the year that gives you permission to use our Chromebooks and our internet. And there's a lot of rules in there you need to learn. But the 2 most important I want you to know is, first of all, equipment like this iPad or your Chromebook that was bought by the school cost a lot of money. So you need to take care of them. Always carry them with 2 hands. I've seen kids pick at the keys and pick off of the key, like take off the letter, like A, just pull it right off the keyboard. What? Why would you do something like that? You know, or drop it and break the screen. That's because they weren't holding it with 2 hands. So we have to really take care of the equipment. That's the number 1 thing. The number 2 thing is you should never, ever, ever be using the internet for something that your teacher hasn't told you to do. That means going to YouTube or chat rooms or websites that you were not told to use. We should never be watching videos that we were not told to watch. There are some things and people on the internet that try to show kids bad things and try to get kids to do bad things online. And the best way to protect yourself is just not go there. Just only go to the places your teacher asks you to go. So if you remember those 2 things, you'll be able to use our school's technology. If you forget those 2 things, we will take the technology away and you'll have to do all your assignments on paper. So it's very important you remember those 2 things. All right, enjoy using all of your cool technology we have. All right, sitting behind me is the principal's secretary, or the school secretary, and she is one of the most important people in the school and has one of the busiest jobs. She keeps the school running, and sometimes you might need her help. She does things for you too. She might get you some ice or help you use the phone, but a lot of times she's really busy. So if you come down to the office, it's very important that you wait patiently and then you look her in the eyes before you yell out or shout out or say what you want or need. She might be on the phone with a parent or a business and you need to wait your turn. Always use kind words with her. Always remember to ask her please and say thank you. When you come down to the office, there are actually 2 doors in. There's this one door here that has the word office on it. That's the one you want to enter. And if it's ever shut, you just push it. Okay, it'll open right up. Now there's another door over on this other side behind the desk. Okay, this is where Mrs. Brooks sit. There's a door. You should never enter that door. Okay, that's for teachers only, so you need to come down and use this door. Now, if you do decide, or you need to come down to the office, you need to have your teacher's permission. You should never come down to the office without your teacher's permission or a hall pass. So remember those 3 things. use polite words and make eye contact, use the right door, and make sure you have a hall pass or permission from your teacher. If you do that, then the people in the office will be able to help you. If you don't do that, they're not going to be able to help you. We want to make sure you get the help you need. Thanks. All right, guess where we are? We're in my office now. Now, I'm not in here very often. Hopefully you'll see me in the lunchroom and in your classrooms, in the hallway and out on the playground and before and after school. And if you need to ask me a question, you're certainly welcome to come talk to me. And if you need help with anything, like maybe someone's being mean to you or being a bully, come up and tell me. But I'm always going to ask you if you told your teacher first, okay? Because your teacher should be the first person you talk to. That's also true if you make a mistake. If you make a mistake, your teacher's in charge. Okay, and your teacher can give you a consequence, and I'm going to support your teacher. I'm never going to tell you to do something that your teacher that's different than what your teacher tells you to do. Okay, they're in charge of your classroom. Once in a while, some kids make some really bad choices, and they might have to come down to my office. Now, I do have some fun things down here, though. So I prefer you guys to earn tokens. Okay, because this year, remember, we're practicing earning JagSwag and getting these JagSwag tickets, and you can get these for practicing positivity, practicing accountability, practicing wise choices, and practicing safety. Once you have 5 of these, you can come down to my office and get a token and buy one of these cool things. So I want to see you in my office for that reason. Okay, but if you ever find yourself in my office for another reason, just know that I still love you. I need you to tell the truth. I'm never going to be mad at you if you tell the truth. And we talked about this at recess on the playground. Practicing accountability, meaning not blaming someone else or pointing your finger and saying so-and-so did it too. You're in my office because of something you did, and we're only going to talk about what you did, and you're going to tell me the truth about it. Okay? Also know that if you're down in my office, we're going to involve your parents. It's not because I want to call your parents and get you in trouble. It's because we're a team. Me, you, your teacher, and your parents. Our job is to help you become a better person. I can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. Your teacher can't do it alone. Okay, but if that's what's going to happen, you'll get a white slip if you come down here. A white slip is a note describing what you did and what your consequences are. You need to accept those consequences, and you need to prove to me that you're willing to try and change. And that's what the white slip is, a little contract between me, you, and your parents, saying what you're going to do to try and make sure you don't make the same mistake again. All right, so once again, I hope you're in my office for a good reason. If you're not, and you're down here for another reason, the number one thing is telling the truth and practicing accountability. Always tell the truth. Mr. Bodden will never be mad if you tell the truth. All right, I hope to just see you in all the other fun places, never have to see you in here for a bad reason. So the best way to avoid coming to my office is doing all the things we talked about today, okay? Following all the rules in all the different places in the school. Then you'll never have to come down here for a bad reason. You'll only be down here to get tokens and for other fun prizes. So thank you so much for watching this presentation about all of the school rules. There's so many rules to remember, and I only told you just a few of the most important ones. It's important that you listen carefully to your teachers and any adult in the building, because there's other rules out there that they might tell you about. And we never argue with the teachers. So do your best to listen, like I said, and learn all the rules. I know you guys can do it. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. All right. Thank you for listening to me go on and on and on about all the rules. Sorry I talked so much. We're so looking forward to either next week or the week after. It depends on how long it takes us to get a class organized. But we're looking forward to another class doing the news next time and hearing them sing our song and sing about some of the things they've been learning. So teachers, I'll be working with you on that to create a schedule and to show you how it's done. Don't stress about it. It's super easy, and I'll walk you through it and help you with it. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great week. See you next week. Good morning, students. Welcome to the first episode. Okay, first blooper too. Let's try that again.